What's good? Hello again. I am the DJ. I don't want you all to think that every story I tell is going to be about tragedy. I am an F up, but I find the comedy in everything. And I have always laughed at the wrong things. And I'm going to tell you a few stories about some of the wrong things I've laughed at in the situations, and you're probably not going to like me even more afterwards. But I'm used to not being liked, so it won't bother me. I think I already told you I'm not going to be doing the weights thing because it didn't go well. And then reading all these do's and don'ts in YouTube, I wanted to just sit back, medicate, inebriate, hit the weights, and talk to you. Well, I can't because they might not want to monetize me because of that. If I ever get enough of you all listening and looking. And I already have a channel that cannot be monetized. Shameless plug, the UnDJ. It's the mix channel. And being that it can't be monetized, I medicate and inebriate the whole time. And then I feel it, and I feel it even more, and I get loose. But the mixes, you know what I mean? Go check them out. I think I put the link in the description. You're supposed to say that, I think. Link in the description. Words I thought I'd never be saying. Anyway, today we're gonna keep it lighthearted. And I say lighthearted because it makes me laugh. It's funny as hell to me, and I don't regret this one because that's what you get for scaring me. Don't scare me. I don't like being scared, and I was terrified. I was scared. I'm talking about. That's one of them top 30 scared in my life. Oh man. All right. It does involve self-defense. And when it's self-defense, it shouldn't matter who you defend yourself against. Okay? It was self-defense, so don't hate me. Whatever. I thought she was going to take my butt. So, I'm going to start by saying never, ever, under any circumstances, leave the club and go home with anyone. I don't care how bad she is. I don't care. I don't care what she promised to do to you. I do not care. Don't do it. And if you won't listen to me for this story, eventually I'm going to do a video when I get up enough nerve. And I'm going to call it the worst thing I've ever done. And to this day, I hands down believe that this is by far the worst thing I've ever done. Not this one, but the one I'm going to tell down the line. But I don't have enough heart yet because I've never told that story in its entirety. And I've never ever linked myself as having something to do with that story. I've told it as a third party story just for shock value to see if I'm a monster. But yeah, it turns out I am. Very much so. Yeah, I suck. I was pissed and I was young, very creative, and I watched way too much TV when I was a kid. So I believed all of it. You wonder who they have to say things like, don't try this at home. You wonder what kind of people it's some of the stupidest things. Those jackass, whatever show, don't try this at home. Why did they think they said, who's going to try it? Me. I tried everything I saw on TV. I thought it was all real. Even if they told me it was camera tricks, I'm like, they got it from somewhere, which means it's possible. I can do it. So I'm the reason why they have to say that kind of stuff. People like me. Stuck on stupid or too smart for their own good, however you want to sit there and say it. All right. Anyway, and this story, I was warned by a homeboy. He was older than me. I hung around him. I met him when I was in the military, and we still hung out even after I got out. All right. But I'm actually still in the military at this time. Okay, we're sneaking off base, going out. We would go to the NCO club at an army base that was close by. And that, for some reason, This NCO club was jumping more than civilian clubs. Like this thing was lit. We had civilians begging us to get them in. Like that's how lit this club was. It was wild. Anyway, we go in there, and there's one particular female that everybody's paying attention to. I'm new in town. I'm in the military. I'm young. I've been cooped up because I just got a basic training kind of thing. I'm still cooped up because we're in tech school and you don't have, like, you just can't go as you please yet. All right. So I'm wilding. I just want to dance, party, drink way too much. Underage, yeah, I know. I suck. Anyway, and I'm a dancer. I can dance. Not a stripper. I'm a dancer. I can dance. So when I get to the club, my whole life, oh, you gonna know I'm there because I'm in the middle of the flow and I got me some attention, killing it. So I'm in the club, got my little drink on, I'm boogieing. Of course, I'm getting attention from the females, and there was this one particular female that stood out. She didn't just stand out because of how she looked. She stood out because she was a very rare nationality that you don't see that often. And because you don't see that nationality that often, and she happened to have a different color eyes, and they were natural. Nobody believed it, but she had naturally different color eyes for her nationality, and you really don't see that. So she stood out. She stood out, and I saw the whole club paying attention to her. So when she paid attention to me, well, now I want all the attention because that makes me the alpha of the club, right? I got the baddest chick in the club sweating me. So I want my flowers. I want everybody to see it. I want everybody to know I got it. Haha. Again, 18. Man. Okay, so night goes well. We talk, we dance, and now me and her, we're the top people in the club. Me because I got her because she's crushing every female there. So she's older than me by about 5-6 years. And I'm ready to go back to the base. That's it. You know, you go and you go back to the base. All right. So Drew, which is the dude I told you about from the military, and I can call him that. It's not his real name, but he liked to go by Drew. That was what he told the females his name was. It wasn't, but whatever. Drew was the wild one. He was the wild one everywhere he went. So while I pulled one, and it was a bad one, Drew had all the rest of them because he was that kind of dude. He could just run up there, talk to him, get him. So he had all the rest of them. Drew brought some other guys with him, you know, older, and they were cool. But there was one dude, and I could tell that I needed to be cool with him because that was the dude who didn't drink, didn't wild out, had his back against the wall, and was watching everything all the time. So he's the backbone of the operation. He's gonna make sure everybody gets home safe. So I need to know where he's at because when he leaves, I'm leaving because I ain't got no ride. All right, and Drew on Saturday, now he's military. Monday through Friday, he's all business. But they say that the military is going to make you into one or two things. You're either going to be 304, promiscuous, or you're going to be an alcoholic. And it's a ha-ha joke, but it's a lot more closer to the truth than you think. So Drew, on a Saturday, he hit me up early in the morning, and I mean like 9, 10, because he used to getting up early. And Drew would be like, yo, let's go get something to drink. Drew would go get a big bottle of Naughty Head, which is Seagram's gin. And then he would go get a big old bottle of Old Granddad whiskey, which is the cheapest, nastiest whiskey you can get. And he would get a gallon of orange juice. And back then they had 3-liter. So he had a 3-liter Coke. He would pop the bottle on one of the liquors. If it was the gin, then he'd drink all the gin and the juice. Of course, I'd help. And then he would immediately switch. I ain't seen him eat nothing all day. He started drinking the Granddad and the Coke, rum and Coke, or whiskey and Coke. So by the time the sun went down, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who he was. He didn't know who I was. He didn't know who he was. And we didn't know nobody else. But let's get in the car. Let's go to the club. And we did. So we get there. I told you we met the females. Club's getting ready to close. We're all ready to go home. Okay? We're supposed to go back to the base. Everybody goes their ways. We had a good time. Not Drew. Drew got something hot on the line. All kinds of promises, and she gonna it. And I can tell by the way she was acting with him right there in the club that she was gonna. And he wants it. All his homeboys must have known him because they immediately said, whatever, man, we out. Drew drove. He has his own car. Now, I should have did exactly what I said I was going to do. Where the responsible dude goes, I go. Nope. I'm 18. I'm sorry about that. Microphone. My bad. Microphone. I'm 18. I don't have friends. I got to fake being friendly because I can't be alone forever. So I want to be a good homeboy. And I'm like, you don't need to go by yourself, dog, when something happens. So why don't you just come with us? Get up with her later. No, he's adamant he's going. I'm not going to let him go by himself. So I went with him. As we go, and I didn't know this, but the chick that he's going with is part of a group. And their group is connected to the girl that I pulled. So we're all a group. I'm like, well, this must be how it's supposed to go then, because that's a coincidence. So I get in the car with Drew. They all load up in their cars. Once they saw that me and Drew was together, the two chicks clicked up and they were like, all right, well, the one that was after me, like, let's go back to my crib then. And so I was like, well, okay, cool. At least he ain't alone. I ain't alone. He can go do what he wants to. They were making out and stuff, whatever. So you knew something was going to happen. And she was like, ain't nobody home. You can go to my house. So we went. When we got in there, they went into the room. And me and her were just sitting here on the sofa watching TV in the living room. 2 more minutes came and they came back out. Turns out he didn't bring any protection. So they're going to run to the store to go get some protection. I was like, all right, let's go. He was like, nah, me and her going to roll, that way y'all can just chill. He was trying to be a homeboy because he thought I was trying to get into something too. And I get that. And I didn't want to be no blocker. So I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna say nothing. In my mind, I'm not in too much danger because I got about a good 100 pounds on her, like she's not a big girl at all. So I'm not worried. Anyway, about 30 minutes go by and I asked her, where's the nearest store at? And she told me that if the convenience store was closed and they probably went up to some 24 hours, I don't know. I was like, okay, cool. I'm still not panicking because 30 minutes passed quick. I didn't even know 30 minutes had passed. So then I'm waiting on Drew. He still ain't come back yet. All right. This ain't good because I ain't got no cell phone. And, it wasn't cell phone times like that. I don't know numbers like that. All right. So I'm waiting on him to come back. She's been drinking heavy. So she's doing all this, falling out. And so finally she makes her move. She says, you want to come in the room? I'm about to lay down. You can come lay down with me if you want. I was like, nah, if somebody comes, they got to get back in and all of that. So I'll sit on the sofa. She was like, are you sure? Like, you going to do me like that? And, basically saying you're going to miss on this opportunity. And I was like, yeah, because I don't have protection either. She don't know that, but I'm more concerned with the fact that I'm stranded here now. I don't know where I'm at. I'm not from here. And that dude's my ride. So, I sit there and I had been drinking too. I'm not a big sleeper. And, I was kind of sitting on the sofa towards the corner right here and had my little leg not up on the sofa, but, just kind of cocked up a little bit, just kind of relaxing. And I'm watching TV. All right. She had the lights out already because she was trying to create a mood and she thought something was going to happen. So the lights out. TV's on. All right. Time is passing. This fool still ain't back yet. I don't know because I can't see what time it is, with it being dark. Last time I found what time was, I asked her. So I'm sitting on the sofa and I'm getting ready to get up to go find the clock to see what time it is. And you know how, even though it's pitch black, how you can kind of see something show up? That's what ended up happening. So the way the house is set up, there's a sofa, the TV's right here, and they got it set up to where you have to walk past the TV to go, I guess that's where the hallway is at. The hallway comes out this way. So now I'm laid back like this. The TV isn't no big old, it ain't the TVs we got today. So it ain't like lighting up no room or nothing like that. Okay. So I'm sitting back like this and I'm nodding, I'm drunk, I'm doing whatever. And I see a figure. I see a figure show up. And it was standing there. But it was dark, so I couldn't really see. So I just sat there. And you know how your eyes tend to adjust. And after a while, I knew that I saw a person standing there. Not in the room. They're standing where the hallway ends. The entrance to the hallway, they're just standing there. And I see them looking at me. I can see the silhouette. I know it's a woman. And to my knowledge, she's the only one here. So she's just standing there staring at me. And when I say staring, I'm not talking about no regular stare. I'm talking about just not moving at all. Not moving, not speaking. I can barely hear her breathing, but she's standing there. Now, that might not seem too scary to you until I tell you that this went on for about 35, 45 minutes. Whoever that was standing there silently for at least 30, 45 minutes. Now, the way I know that is because I couldn't see a clock. So I started counting to 60 repeatedly to keep myself awake, to see how long it had been. So I was Mississippian in my head. Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 59 Mississippi, 60 Mississippi, 1 minute, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, in my head. I counted, and I didn't come up with this immediately. So some time had passed before I come up with this, but I did it 30 times. I counted to 30 minutes in my head. So I know it was at least 30. Plus the time I waited to even come up with that brilliant idea and everything. Who the hell stands there like that at all, let alone for that long, and say nothing this late at night with a stranger in your house? It was weird to me that she left me in her house unattended and went to bed. I should have known something was wrong then, but I didn't. Trying to be a good homeboy. That's why I ain't got no friends now. I'm done with friends. To hell with them. So I'm sitting here, and I told you I'm very intelligent. I just didn't know how to apply any of those skills then. So the brilliant idea was to count to see how long, and the other one was to regulate my breathing and sit there and pretend to be asleep. And that's what I did. I just sat there and didn't move, regulated, because whatever move she's going to make, she's probably waiting for me to go to sleep. So that's what I did. I faked being asleep. Now, they say that when you're in the dark long enough, you tend to see things. In the time that she was standing there, the details just got more and more crazy because she was standing there and I could have swore I saw her, like in my mind, there was a knife in one hand and a gun in the other. Like, I don't know, but I know I saw something in her hand, or I drew it there with my mind. But now she's standing there with what looks like a knife to me. And again, it's probably all in my head, but she's about to kill me. And that's how I feel. So I'm sitting here, still playing sleep, still standing there. And in my also in my mind, now she's doing a little crazy psycho rock. And they're standing there just kind of rocking. So in my mind, I see that too. I see that, and I see her holding a knife, and she's the most horrific person in the world, scaring the hell out of me now. So I'm panicking, and I gotta pee. Forgot to tell you that. Gotta pee now. She was scared me to death. I gotta pee. So I'm sitting here faking sleep, faking sleep, faking sleep. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to remember the layout of the house, how we came in, how we left out. Was there a screen door? How many locks on the door? What kind? Because I ain't got but one shot at this. I gotta go. So I remember we came in, we walked through a kitchen. I remember there was a deadbolt. Um, and then after we came through, there's the hallway that she was standing in. And then we came past the TV and we sat down. And then there's the room that Drew and me were over there. Okay, so I got the layout. I didn't see any other doors in this room, so there's no back door. So I got to go the way I came. It's the only way I know. And I cannot be fumbling with these locks because, again, I only got one shot at this. So I sit there and in my head, I'm pumping myself up because I'm getting the hell up out of here now. I got to go now. I can't stay here and find out how this is going to end because I don't see it ending well for me. I'm a dead man in my deal. I'll mess around and she's a black widow and she goes to the clubs and she picks up dudes and she takes them back to her house and she kills them. She's a serial killer. That's what I came up with in the time I was sitting here. It's like, okay. So she went from being drunk and cute to the biggest serial killer that ever lived, and I'm her next victim. Well, damn. Good luck, I guess. So my 18-year-old brain told me that's what's going to happen. She's going to take your butt. That's what she's going to do. Human traffic you or something. I don't know. But you got to go. So I waited until my eyes adjusted just a little bit more. I waited until I just couldn't wait anymore. And all it took was what I thought was a step forward. Again, I drew the knife in the hand already in my mind. I got a shaking all cycle like this. And that's probably in my mind. But now my brain decided to tell me that she took a step forward. Oh, hell no. The moment she did, I jumped off the sofa, ran full speed at her, drew back, and with everything I had, fire! I hit her so hard, or hit whoever it was so hard in their face. I just heard somebody hit the ground, and I ran for the door. I tugged it open. I don't even know if I broke it or not. I slung that thing open, ran out the house, and I ran for about a good 2-3 miles because, again, I don't have a car. After I ran 2 or 3 miles, I stopped and then I walked. Used the road signs to get somewhere where I knew I was, and then I called a taxi. I don't know to this day what situation I was in. But hindsight 2020, I really hope that I did not knock her out because she's a sleepwalker, which could have very well been what it was. I don't know. Or maybe she sobered up a little bit and realized, oh goodness, I left him in my house and I don't know him. Let me get a knife and go see what the hell he's doing, which also makes way more sense. But to me, nope. She wanted to eat my butt, or take it, sell the parts. I don't know. But whatever it was, I was not happy. Yeah, I hit her hard just once. And I don't know if it's a her. It could have been some kind of Norman Bates thing dressed in the wig. I don't know. I never checked the house. I never did anything. But I promise you from that day forward, number one, I don't care. My homeboy is going to come up missing from now on because I'm not going with anybody. You know, support nobody, take one for the team, none of that. Number two, I I won't react until I know from now on. Like I never thought twice. I never checked my reactions. I just knew that because I was intelligent, I must be doing the right thing. I won't just act anymore. And that's when I started saying, and I still say it to this day, I know my line has got to be tired of hearing it. I don't act, I react. And I have to, because when I acted, I either hit an innocent woman in her own house because she was scared of me, or I knocked out a sleepwalker, or maybe, just maybe, I saved my butt. Maybe I deterred her plans. But you got to be careful, man, especially when you're somebody like me. And the reason I'm trying to be transparent about my mental condition, and I'm not making fun of, you know, hitting women or nothing like that. It's a serious condition, man. It'll trip you up. It'll get you hurt and people around you hurt if you're not careful. And I don't have to tell you my condition to help somebody who has the same kind of tendencies, because a lot of these mental conditions have the same kind of traits to them: narcissism, extreme mood disorders, kind of things like that. And I'm non-compliant. I won't take that medicine. I never have. And they've been trying to get me to take it for years. Mm-mm. I chose the gateway. It's worked for me. Um, it's the only thing that I've seen people use. I was like, wow, I wish I could be like that. And believe it or not, I've never tried anything else. I think I've said that before, but I haven't. And it's because I've never seen anybody on anything else that I want to be like. I don't ever want to feel like I can stand up in front of people and say, come on, take me, and then take a bunch of bullets and still be standing up because I forgot to die. Like, I don't want to feel like that. I don't need to be that strong. So I don't need anything that's going to make me feel that strong. I pretty much feel like that anyway. That's how I'm wired. Anyway, sorry if it didn't make you laugh. It's still one of the funniest stories in the world to me because I know how I felt. I may have overreacted or I may have saved my own life. But yeah, don't go home with people. If your people want to go somewhere, either talk them out of it or hope that they get out of it alive. Do not follow them, or you might mess around and be in the same situation I was in, and you don't want that. All right? Till next time.